Hello, everyone. Welcome back. In our last episode, we talked about ChatGPT and how it was moderately successful in crafting a children's story, and some problems that it had with that, but also its strengths. This time, we're continuing this series of ChatGPT testing with a more math or computer science related topic. In computer science, cryptography relies on prime numbers. So testing to see if a number is prime in a quick method is a very sought after problem. And it's trivial uh, for numbers divisible by 2. Any number that's divisible by 2 can be ruled out pretty quickly. Um, just a brief background on binary, base 2. Each digit in binary is twice as much as the digit to the right of it. So for instance, if we have this 4-bit number 0001, that would be 1. If we move the bit over one more, that's 2, that's 4, that's 8. And we can add by putting multiple ones in. That would be 10 because it's 8 plus 2. And the pattern just continues on. You can have more than 4 bits. For instance, modern computers are 64 bits. So you can just keep extending that however far you need to. But the math still remains. It's still twice as much as the number to the right. In this case, I asked ChatGPT how to tell if a number is divisible by 3. Um, I skipped the case of divisibility by 2 because it's trivial to tell that. You just have to look at the last bit. The last bit is the furthest rightmost bit is 1. So that makes it an odd number if it's set. If it's not set, then it's divisible by 2. ChatGPT does get that correct, so that's good. That's like a really basic case that anyone who's used to dealing in binary should just be able to do. It should seem obvious. So asking it something harder, divisibility by 3, which I've never been able to come up with a quick, reliable solution. I figured maybe ChatGPT is smarter than me. Unfortunately, ChatGPT basically just says the method we all learned in grade school, but using it on binary. So tell if the digits add up to 3. If they add up to 3, then it's divisible by 3. So for instance, 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. 12 is divisible by 3. 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 is divisible by 3. It's basically giving the exact same method, but with the binary digits, so that doesn't really speed anything up. We could just look at the decimal digits. In that case, you're still adding them and then dividing. And dividing is actually the slow part, so it doesn't save you a division. Um, okay, well, let's try 7. ChatGPT then says, start from the rightmost bit, group the digits in sets of 3, take the alternating sum of the groups, and subtract the sum from one group. Repeat the process until you reach the leftmost bit. If the final result is divisible by 7, then the original binary number is divisible by 7. That's fine, but again, that adds complexity. We could just divide the original number by 7. So it doesn't actually, it's just adding steps to what you would be doing in the straightforward way. So that's not really useful. I haven't tested it. I assume that actually works. I've seen that method listed elsewhere, so I'm guessing that's correct. Anyone who wants to verify that in the comments, feel free. So I moved on to 5. I've had problems with ChatGPT in the past with this question, and I wanted to see 3 or 4 months later if it's gotten any better answers. It still gave me a wrong answer to begin with, but it didn't give me 3 wrong answers and then finally give up. So I guess that's an improvement. But basically, it said it's divisible by 5 if the last digit or the rightmost bit is either 0 or 5. Speaking of decimal in this case, not binary, so base 10, not base 2. And they even say it's base 10 here. So any number ending in 0 or 5 is divisible by 5. That's the same trick we learned in grade school. I'm assuming we all learned that in grade school. So 5 is divisible by 5, 10 is divisible by 5, 15. Every number that ends in either a 0 or 5 is divisible by 5. So then they try applying that rule to binary. They see that it ends in 0, and then they assume that, erroneously by the way, that it's divisible by 5. That is incorrect. So I point that out. I think you have a mistake. 10110 binary is not divisible by 5. That should be, so again, using that trick earlier, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So we've got a 16, a 4, and a 2, so that'd be 22. 22 is most definitely not divisible by 5. So ChatGPT does recognize that's an issue. It does, to its credit, realize that that is 22. I don't know why it didn't realize that in this step. At least it's not blaming, the user for its mathematical issues. But yeah, don't rely on it to do math homework. Don't rely on it for any production code if you're trying to get a quick solution for something. There's forums which you can ask programming questions. Those are going to give you much better answers in general because they're vetted. And if someone gives a wrong answer, 8 people will immediately step in to correct them. So ChatGPT, there's no one here except you, the user, to correct it. So yeah, just buyer beware. It may or may not work. I've had mixed results with testing code samples that it's dropped. Sometimes the code works really well. Sometimes it needs minor tweaks. Sometimes it doesn't work at all. Sometimes it solves a problem you didn't ask for and it works, but not for what you wanted it to do. So yeah, we're not to the point where it's going to replace anyone's job if they're working in the field of math or computer science at this point. I don't know if ChatGPT 4 is any better at this. I don't have a paid subscription, so I can't test ChatGPT 4. It'd be interesting to see if anyone in my audience has access to ChatGPT 4, what results it gives for these questions. If you want to test that and post your results in the comments, that'd be great. Otherwise, like I said 3 or 4 times already, I can't stress this enough. Do not use this for any production code or your math homework because it is not likely to give you a passing grade with your homework, and you're likely to get fired if all of your code is using algorithms generated by ChatGPT. Well, until next time, have a good day, and I look forward to your comments.